Lesson 9-6 is subtracting fractions. And subtracting fractions is very similar to adding fractions. So in 5/6 minus 1/2, my first step is just like adding. I have to find a common denominator. So the denominators I have right now are 6 and 2. And I need to find a least common multiple of 6 and 2. So let's list out our numbers. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 4 is 8. I've already spotted my common multiple because 6 times 1 is 6. So my least common multiple is going to be 6. So my new denominator for each fraction is going to be 6. My common denominator is 6. Step 2, just like when you're adding fractions, to find your new fraction you need to multiply for your new numerator. So I know that 6 times 1 is 6, which means on the numerator I have to multiply by the same thing or multiply it by 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Same on my bottom fraction, 1/2. How do I get from 2 to 6? I know that I multiply by 3. If I multiply the denominator by 3, I multiply the numerator by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And now I have two new fractions with the same denominator, 6. So 5/6 minus 3/6. We're only going to subtract the numerator. Only the numerator. So 5 minus 3 is 2. And then the denominator stays the same. The denominator stays the same. So my final answer is 2/6. Let's look at number 1 in your practice worksheet. 10/12 minus 1/4. So step 1 is to find a common denominator. So I need the least common multiple of 4 and 12. And I always like to start with the smaller number. So I'm going to start with 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. And I'm going to stop there because I know that 1 times 12 is 12. And I found my common multiple. It's 12. So my new fraction is going to have a denominator of 12. We've renamed these fractions with a denominator of 12. So 12 times 1 is 12, so that means 10 times 1 is 10. That fraction stays the same. But my bottom fraction, 1/4, I know that 4 times 3 is 12, so I have to multiply the numerator by 3 also. 1 times 3 is 3, and now I can just subtract the numerators only. 10 minus 3 is 7, and my denominator stays the same, 12. 10/12 minus 3/12 equals 7/12.